I'm your host, Eddie Coleman. Alfred, how you doing today, man?
Doing well. How about yourself?
This guy does not quit, man. They just doing the towel because they were just gassed out.
My name's Alfred Ratcliff. My birthday is December 20th, 1990, and I was born and raised in Guthrie, Oklahoma. I started back in, I'd say, like 2014. I went in this gym and started doing karate for a bit, and that's where I met Fred at. Fred was a professional MMA fighter. He started, I think, age 42 or something like that, and he started training with me and working with me, and I started from there, and I did a couple amateur MMA fights, and then I figured if I was going to do this, man, I might as well get paid. So I switched over to pro boxing and had my first professional boxing match, I want to say, 8 years ago.
So was Fred the person that influenced you?
Yeah, he's definitely the one who got me into it and pointed me in the right direction to get it started. I've always enjoyed the sport, and I had a dream to want to do it, so to actually be in the position to where I'd have an opportunity to do it, I couldn't pass it up. This was when I was 24, 25. I started a little bit later than most people do.
Who were some of like the people you looked up to in boxing?
I'd have to say like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson and Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather and just a bunch of those old school guys. They really fought. They really brought it every fight. You know, they didn't shy away from any competition, and they just kind of stood there and gave their all, and it was what it was at the end of the day.
What was like your favorite fighting styles between some of your favorite fighters, and why?
I would have to say Mike Tyson, just because of what's the word I'm looking for, the intensity behind it. You know, whether it's from a good or bad place, it was coming from his heart every time he stepped in the ring.
Did you watch the fight?
Of course I did.
Yeah. What was your thoughts?
I mean, as good as you can expect for a 50-year-old man to fight somebody half his age.
Man, shit.
That's in shape, you know?
Yeah, I fully agree on that.
You gotta respect him for doing it, you know? But
yeah, it don't change nothing.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
He's still who he was. It was just, you know, time catches everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like it kind of pushed him to that, kind of feel that energy again for that moment, which is always good to keep the heart young.
Oh yeah, because that's something that you can't ever duplicate or show somebody. You know what I mean? The feeling of just being out there is different.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different feeling from the second you walk out. It's a completely different feeling. It's I don't know, something you can never really explain or experience without being in that moment.
Explain your first time getting into the ring. What was that feeling like?
Very nervous and very anxious.
What was the ring? What was the environment? What was the audience? Was it a lot of audience or a small amount of people?
You know, no matter what, it's always big to you, no matter how many people out there. I think the first time I fought, it was in front of a couple hundred people, you know, and that's still nerve-wracking in itself, you know, to walk out and it's like you're taking the risk of getting knocked out in front of everybody. No matter how good you are, how much you train, you still take that risk every time you step out there. My very first fight was amateur MMA fight. I didn't win that one. But as in professional boxing, I actually lost my first three because I went straight into being a professional without ever doing any amateur boxing. So it was kind of a learning curve there, and those first three guys I fought were really good fighters. You know? Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, what's that hustle like to even become professional?
It's hard because it's different. It's different depending on each person and how your body works and what works for you and what you need to do in order to be successful from your standpoint. It's different for everybody because there's some people who have to work 10 times as hard as everyone else just to be able to stay at this level. Then there's other people who can just wake up and do it naturally without even having to try. So it's all about finding out kind of what works for you and what you need to learn to do to progress and keep going to make it to that next point.
I heard that you got into a lot of fights when you were in school.
Guy out down in Ardmore on the kickoff, but that's for another
Almost
show.
had a fight in the press box.
I got into a couple.
Do you feel like that was a thing that kind of pushed you into the space of wanting to get into it?
Kinda, yeah, you could say that. But I mean, a lot of the times we're young, it's a small town, what else are we gonna do? Somebody's gonna fight somebody at one point in time.
Yeah. Did you play sports?
Oh yeah, I played football and I played basketball for a little bit. I wrestled, I did powerlifting and ran track.
What were your favorite, I would say, classes in school that you liked, and then some of the ones that you just did not like?
I mean, I've always liked history. I don't know what it is, I've always been drawn to it, but I really wasn't the best student back then. I didn't pay attention like I probably should have.
What was the one that you didn't enjoy the most?
Probably math.
Math?
Yeah.
What was it about math?
More like the algebra, whenever you get to that part of it. It was just kind of like, man, I never felt like I was going to use it, so it wasn't no sense of me paying attention to it.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any people that you grew up with that kept you in good spirits?
Of course, there's always somebody either, texting me or sending me a message, encouraging me to keep going and telling me they see what I'm doing. And especially now that I'm older, I'm 33, there's people that I've gone to school with that, have businesses and know people that do, and they're part of what's helping me get sponsors and get recognition from all these people around here. And it's just really a blessing, and I appreciate every bit of it.
What was it like to start building your gym here?
It was hard at first because I really didn't know what I wanted to do or how I wanted to do it. I just knew I wanted to do something to give other people another option of something they can do out here that enjoyed the sport and wanted to learn it and possibly pursue it one day. So it's cool because I get to actually find kids that have nothing to do or are getting in trouble and give them an outlet of something they can do to let out some energy that they could have let out in a different way, versus going and getting in a fight at school. You come out here and we can fight all night, and nobody's gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, I agree with that one. What have been some of the lessons that you've learned by being a teacher to some of these younger
Man, determination and willpower, because just to see some of these kids and kind of get to know them and see what they go through and still see that they can stay motivated to come out here and want to aspire to be something better than what they are, and just watching them put in the work and being so young for a lot of these guys, it's really inspiring, and it's one of the things that keeps me going when I'm not feeling it.
You feel that completely. What was your childhood like growing up?
Man, my childhood was great, man. I had great parents. They worked really hard to take care of all of us. And I mean, I'm the youngest of 8. We all grew up together. We were all taken care of. There's never nothing we didn't have. Going to school was always put first and doing what's right. So, I mean, and I got to grow up here. This is the best city in the state. Where else could you have grown up at and be as happy?
Mm-hmm. Guthrie's a small town, isn't it?
Yes.
How many people is around this way?
Probably about 12, 13,000.
If there was any other place that you could have been doing boxing, where would it be outside of Guthrie?
I don't think there would be anywhere outside of Guthrie. Because if I do it, I'm doing it from the heart because I want to put something good out there. And if I'm going to put out anywhere, it's going to be here at the place that raised me and the place that made me.
Were there any sayings or mottos that were said throughout your family that you still use today?
None that I can really think of. It was more of just teaching by leading, you know what I mean? Having the right example of watching how people do things and seeing the correct way to handle yourself and try to make the right decisions in those moments, especially when people are watching you. You know, so it was more or less like we didn't necessarily have mottos that we would verbally tell each other, but we had actions that we would take to show you, like, hey, this is how you do this.
Give me some challenges you've come across when boxing.
Challenges mainly is time, because I work full time, and you know, I have one of those jobs to where it can be an 8-hour day or it can be a 20-hour day, just depending on the way the wind's blowing. So the hardest part is just having the time and being able to balance between training and working and everything else that I have to do, you know, because we all got responsibilities we got to handle, and you know, I got the kids that I take care of. So it's interesting, but it's fun, you know. I always say that I'm blessed to be stressed.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate it, because if I didn't have it, you know, I wish I did. You know, it's like everything you ask for and you get it. It comes with stress. It doesn't come with a perfect situation. You know, and that's what makes it worth it to have it.
Something I always try to make sure I remind my people to do is make sure you definitely find time for quiet as well.
That's one of the most important.
Yeah. How do you find quiet for yourself?
In chaos. You know, because every day it seems like everything is just so chaotic and running so fast. So I just kind of learned how to find my moments of peace within it.
You're from Oklahoma. Are your parents also from Oklahoma?
Oh no, my father's from Mississippi and my mom's from Louisiana.
How'd they come into Oklahoma?
Honestly, my dad came here after the Army, and my mom had moved down here with some family, and they kind of just ran into each other one day.
What's your next goal that you would like to complete?
I have a couple of those, because I feel like as long as there's goals, it's going to give me a reason to get up and go. I got a couple deals I'm kind of waiting to hear back on to see if I fight anymore this year. And if that doesn't, we'll be fighting again at the beginning of the year. I'll be fighting for the championship again against Jonathan Gary. And we're looking to try to do that here, so that's going to be a pretty big deal to do. And then next, just trying to find better fighters and continue to move up and advance in this sport, you know, and continue to represent my town and my state with pride.
What's something you want to continue to push and make sure it's acknowledged out here in Guthrie?
The guys that are training, how hard they work. Because there's a lot of days I know they don't want to be here, but they still come out and they give 100% every day. And really, that's all you can ask for from a young man, you know? Just especially with all the stuff that's going on, because it's hard to be a kid now. It's harder than it was when we were kids. You know, and a lot of times, just seeing them come in here on days when it's like, man, I can tell he had a hard day, but he's still out here giving 100% and he's excited about it, and it's just a good thing to be around. And I think out of anything, that's what I would like to give acknowledgement to first, is just these kids.
What's something that you wish you could have told yourself when you were younger that you know now?
Nothing. If I wouldn't have went the way I went, I wouldn't have ended up where I am.
Before you're dead and gone, what's something you would like for people to remember you for?
Effort, you know, that I always gave 100%, no matter what it was. I gave it all, and I gave it for everybody, you know. I don't do this just for me, you know. I don't do this just for the money. I do it to try to mean something, and not just for my kids, but for this community and the city, because it's shown me so much love and done so much for me. It's just kind of the only way I know that I can give it back is by representing the city the best that I can.
Tru Erra basically chose you because of the fact that you show motivation, ambition, a willingness to strive for the things that you obviously love and have come to love even more. The motto within Tru Erra is always keep pushing for what you love. If it's not what you love, don't do it. And it takes blood, sweat, and tears to accomplish it as it's on your leg. Through this form and knowledge, how do you feel that coincides with how you're living today, or how you show that throughout boxing?
Well, I mean, it says right there, blood, sweat, and tears. That's what it takes to do this. It takes a lot of work. It's not easy. You know, and I think that's one of the things that's harder to get people to see. Like, when you see somebody go out there and fight, yeah, it looks like something that could be done, but at the same time, you don't see how many hours upon hours upon hours of work it is, and it's hard. It really is. You know, and anybody who does it, I tip my hat to them because I know it's not easy. That's why I show so much respect to the people that I do fight because I know it's not easy by any means. You know, 90% of the professional boxers work full time. You know, because starting out, it's not something you just make a bunch of money doing. You gotta work your way up, and there's levels to it. You know, so it's always respect to anybody who does it because I know how hard it is and what it does take to be able to even make it on a small level.
If there's something you could tell the kids out there today, what would it be?
Work hard. If you want something, work hard for it. Never give up. Don't try to be funny in school. You'll end up like me. You know?
What's one word that describes you?
Determined. I appreciate you coming out, man.
Man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your time. I appreciate everything, man. Just keep doing exactly what you're loving, man. If it connects with the soul, it connects with the heart, bro. It ain't gonna make it go wrong. It's gonna feel like it's going wrong in some instances, but it ain't never gonna go wrong.
Nah, man, not ever. Gotta keep pushing.
For